All right, we are back, and the countdown continues till we get to USET in a few weeks in March 19th and 20th in Salt Lake City. And I'm extremely excited to have the opportunity to meet some of the presenters, to hear about some of the sessions, and get people excited for this event. It's the largest event yet this year for USET as they continue to combine forces. This year, they're bringing in the Library Association for Utah as well. And it's just going to be a great learning opportunity in whatever position you're in. I'm an assistant superintendent. We had library media specialists. We have principals, teachers, coaches. It's just going to be a great opportunity to collaborate and to have the opportunity to meet other educators as well. Just like our next guest, I'd like to welcome in from Miami, Florida. I'd like to welcome in Sheryl. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good, Matt. How about you?
I'm good, doing a little dancing and all that stuff. We're ready to rock and roll. And if you want to learn more from Sharon, you can follow her right there on Twitter. We're going to talk about some of the work that she does for Book Widgets. But before we do that, for those who don't know you or your work, share your journey in education.
Sure. Thanks for asking and thanks for having me. I
Of
too am
course.
super excited about the USET conference. I'm a 40-year educator. I know it's hard to believe because I'm barely 40 years old.
I know. How's that
Uh,
possible?
yeah, public school system all the way, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, all 40 years. My passion is teaching and learning. I love students. I love education. I love everything about it. And I decided to transition and try something different, but still focused on education, working as head of customer success with the Book Widgets team. Book Widgets is a teacher content creation and evaluation platform. We help teachers create content. I used it in my classroom, and for me, it was a game changer because it was about simplifying my grading, streamlining my grading. If somebody else or something else can do it for me to free up my time to attend soccer practice or visit a national park, that's what I want to do. So now I'm on the other side and super excited about coming to USET in just a couple weeks, like you said.
Awesome. And because we are a live podcast and you never know what's going to happen, I have a question for you. Being in Miami-Dade or for that many years, did you know Yvonne Alvarez?
Yes, I most certainly did. Do you know Yvonne?
We worked together in Providence. So she was the chief academic officer and I was the executive director for teaching and learning. So now she's the superintendent of Lynn here in Massachusetts. So I
Yes.
know her really well, actually.
And one of the few female superintendents. There's a whole group of female superintendents that I follow. They are an outstanding group of women. But what Yvonne taught me was to make sure that your passion and dedication did not overwhelm the other parts of your life. And it was great advice that she gave me. Be passionate about what you want to do, but don't let it take over all of your life.
Absolutely. And she's an incredibly impactful person. And the work that you do is incredibly impactful. And going from the classroom to the solution provider side, what has that jump been like?
A little scary. I talk to a lot of teachers who are like, I want to make that transition. I'm a transitioning teacher. We have the skills, right? A grade book is a ginormous Excel spreadsheet. We're just
Mhm.
using it differently, right? But school and the game of school is very different than the world of business.
Sure.
And so understanding how to make that transition, the difference between public school education, especially, and the business environment was a big learning curve for me. I had wonderful mentors from the Book Widgets team, and they allowed me to fail forward and try things out. And also encouraged me where they knew my strengths and weaknesses are and were. And I think, too, coming over to the solution provider side, I needed to understand still what was it that a teacher was looking for. And I think that's one of the great things about Book Widgets. It's 40% of our team members are current or former teachers.
That's incredibly impressive. And if you want to learn more about Book Widgets, check out the website scrolling below. You can go check that out. And as an administrator, so I'm the assistant superintendent of teaching and learning, what would I use this for within the schools? How would I support our principals or our teachers with this solution?
So I think there's four components that are super important. First and foremost, content creation. I was a teacher, and I can't tell you how many times a curriculum was given to me, and I spent hours modifying it to make it, exactly what I wanted, because I'm the one who knows my learners. I can pick up the standards. I know what the standards are. I know the content. So when you give me a canned curriculum, it doesn't work for me a lot of times.
Sure.
I teach English for speakers of other languages and bilingual world languages. So I was, redoing a lot of content. So I think the content creation is key. 40 different templates that you can use. Then we also have the ability to monitor students live while they're working in any environment. So you can watch students while they're working. I had a class of 45. I couldn't even get up and down the rows. So that was a game changer for me, being able to see what my students were doing, cheer on my Pop-Tarts, and help out my bench warmers, make sure that everybody was achieving success in real time. Then also, I think the integration with the learning management system to help you stay streamlined in your tech toolbox. Originally, I was doing all the things, right? And my
Sure.
tech toolbox was a mess. And my students were like, it's too much for us. So
Sure.
being able to streamline inside a learning management system is great. The administrator part too, let's put on that administrator hat and talk about data. There's a robust data dashboard that helps teachers and administrators inform their practice and move forward so that we can achieve success, so that we do know where our students need extra support or remediation. So it's like putting a puzzle together with those 4 pieces. As an administrator too, I love that you brought it up. I always believe that administrators should model what they want their educators in the classroom to do. And with 40 templates, you can find something that you can use at a faculty meeting or a professional development session. And modeling that for teachers, I think, is key to adapting or adopting something in a school.
That's awesome. So we're all bringing this together for the combination of the USET event and the UELMA event in Utah, and you're going to be there. You're flying out from Florida,
Yes.
and boy, do they have you booked. Let's just we can check out just your first day. You have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions,
And it's
and
really great, Matt, because we have a room. We have a dedicated room where we will be having all these sessions, 255F. So
okay.
you can come to
What
our
was that
room,
room
you can
again?
meet 255F.
Gotcha.
Right up the escalator just from the keynote, you're going to find us. And I think it's going to be really awesome that while we have those sessions, in between those sessions, teachers can also drop in, hang out with us, relax, put their feet up for a little bit, and really take a dive into what we're doing with book widgets and changing up how we look at content creation and evaluation.
Awesome. So check out room 255F. You'll see all of these great sessions on the first day. Is there one or two you want to highlight that you?
I'm going to tell you, I really love the session that's going to happen right after lunch at 12:45. We're going to look at all 40 of the templates that we have, and I'm going to show you, along with my colleague Kate Baker, I'm going to show you, along with Kate, how you can use those 40 templates in any learning environment, pre-K to post-secondary, early learning to advanced placement calculus. We have a template for every content area. And don't forget, we'll do most of the grading for all of the work that you assign to your students. So
Well,
saving time so that you have those opportunities to do the things that you really love, which is, creating joyful lessons for your students, I think is key. So probably that session on the first day is going to be one of my favorites. The first 2 are book widgets inside learning management systems, which I think are super important. And then who doesn't love a game? So right when you start getting tired and you need a cup of coffee around 2 o'clock, we have a great session on gamification, and there's prizes.
yes, you got to
Don't
love
tell
prizes.
anybody.
And one
Don't
of the
tell-
things I hear a lot, especially with digital tools or digital platforms, is that it stresses kids out or it's too much work. And I know one of the sessions you're doing is about SEL and how would
Mhm.
a platform that focuses on efficiency support student social emotional learning?
So for me, it's about feedback and support. I think in a classroom community, students must know that they are valued. One of the things that I love, and it doesn't have to be book widgets, but whatever your educator practice is, of course, I want, to mention book widgets, but whatever your educator practice is, there has to be that teacher student connection, and it needs to be a connection that has immediacy involved in it. So we can't touch all of our students, in 180 minutes inside a class at times. With book widgets, for example, I can incorporate automated feedback. So let's say that a student is getting 100% on an activity. I can trigger feedback that will say to that student, "You're doing a great job. I'm super proud of you. Here's a high five," or "Here's a bonus activity." Likewise, I was the student on the other end, the student who was always struggling. I love school, but it was hard for me when I was in elementary, middle, and high school. And so I never heard from my teacher, "Keep it up. I know you can do it." I heard from my teacher all the time, "Hurry up. You're the last one. Let's finish." With that automated feedback in book widgets as well, I can send a message to a student that says, "I see you're working really hard. Keep up the work. You might not have proficiency today, but you're going to get there soon." So for me, I think when we talk about SEL, it's meeting the needs of our learners, and it's that sense of immediacy, not urgency, but immediacy, so that the students feel valued in my classroom. When my students feel valued in my classroom, I know they will rise up for me. They will do anything for me once they feel valued.
I like it. And I know before we went live, you had talked about your Wednesday sessions, and again, bringing
Mhm.
in SEL, mindfulness, and ed tech. I look forward to learning about that. And I love the word joy in there, as well as building resiliency. So what I really like about this, and for those watching, take note, on Wednesday at 2 and 3:30, these sessions are happening in the room that they have, room 225F, that these aren't talking about the tools, but they're talking about
No.
skills and needs for students. So share a little bit about what these sessions are going to be about.
Mhm. So my colleague Kate is going to be the lead, the featured speaker for the SEL Joy and Mindfulness and Joy. She has a great session talking about Castle, all of the things that you will maybe want a refresher on
Mhm.
or want to take a peek at. Her session is absolutely incredible. She has so many takeaways. For me, my session comes after her. I'm going to be talking about building resiliency, and I'm going to focus on three areas: building resiliency among my students and myself in my classroom,
Okay.
creating community with other teachers in my school, because teaching at a high school, we go to our room in the morning. Maybe we get lucky that we get to come out and go to the bathroom, rush back, eat lunch at our desk, and there's no community. So, how can I build community and resiliency among staff members? And just a little side note, I'm having a faculty get together tomorrow afternoon away from school. That's one of the ways that I build community and resiliency. And then the third one is the greater community. All of the rights holders in our community, some people may call them stakeholders.
Mhm.
How do I grow that larger school community so that everyone in my neighborhood, everyone in my community, the school board members are invested in what we do? So I'm super excited to share some of the things that I'm doing to build community across those three areas with everyone.
Wonderful.
And it's going to be a great way to end USET.
Absolutely. Is this your first time at the event?
It's not only my first time at the event, it'll be my first time in Salt Lake, in
Oh,
Utah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
my first time, I went last year for an event on paraprofessionals, and you get off the airport and it's like, wow. It was like, I won't even tell you. I want you to experience yourself. It
Ah,
was pretty amazing. I actually took a little scooter around Salt Lake. It was really fun. There was some
oh, that's a great
churches and
idea.
cathedrals. Yeah, it was just a great experience, and it will be my first time at USET as well. So I look forward to that. So being your first time there, what is something you hope to take away from the event?
Well, for sure, I've reached out to every Real Housewife of Salt Lake. So, let's
Okay, good
let's
luck
hope
with
that
that.
they're all going to be coming to the conference. But of course, I'm joking there. What I really am hoping to take away is something that I just talked about. I really want to create meaningful connections with people on the other side of the United States. I don't want to exist just in my Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade County Public School book widgets bubble. I want to see experiences from other educators and hear about our shared visions and our shared dreams and look to see, do they have the same challenges that I face, or are they different? Do they have the same successes that I face, or are they different? So I really want to have, just like you and I are having, I want to have those meaningful conversations. And then I don't want it to be one and done. I want to continue the conversation after you said. I just don't want to go to a conference, leave, and say that was great. You and I met so many years ago. We reconnected at FETC this year. Now we're chatting here on Stronger Together. Those things are important to me. So that's what I'm hoping I take away. And, not for nothing, a couple sales.
There you go. That never hurts. That never hurts. So before I get you out, last question I always ask, and you've talked a lot about collaboration. Again, visit bookwidgets.com and see how they are collaborating with you, because Stronger Together is not just individuals, it's solution providers partnering with schools, which is supporting students. So we're all in this together. But when I say Stronger Together, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, you gave me a heads up about what that meant, and I journal every day. And so last night I journaled a little bit about what that meant to me, and two words came up: connections and community. So connections, that network of relationships and partnerships, like you mentioned, solution providers, that as educators we build within and beyond our classroom. That makes us stronger together. Collaboration with colleagues, communication with families, engagement with local community, and even global connections. So, I have connections in Africa and Asia. But I think by fostering meaningful connections, we can access valuable resources, expertise, and support systems that enhance our teaching practices and our lives and make us better educators for our students, stronger together.
I like
I
it.
think that a strong education system thrives on both that community of caring and the connections, and that makes us stronger together. When we prioritize building relationships over standards and sales, when we look at meaningful connections and environments where everyone is empowered to learn, grow, and succeed, I think that's what makes us stronger together.
Awesome. Well, Sheryl, thank you for sharing everything today. Look forward to connecting in person. You get to see Salt Lake City for the first time. If you do not follow her, make sure to check out her X handle right there. And if you want to learn more about Book Widgets, it's been streaming across the bottom, but you can also follow them as well at iBookWidgets on X. And of course, if you're going to be at the event, make sure to check out room 225F. It's going to be a great
255.
225F. It's going to be a great time for 2 days. So Sheryl, thanks for taking a little time with us today, sharing about your work in Book Widgets. We look forward to seeing you in under 2 weeks in Salt Lake City.
Thank you so much, Matt.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.